Right, okay. So the networking question 2022 past paper. Let us consider this question. So suppose that so I'm discussing only this B part, and only I'm targeting this specific thing, right? Only this section. I'm not going to discuss the entire question, right? So let us move into the discussion. So suppose that the ABC company has received the 192.248.154.0/25 IP address block. So this is the IP address block that is received to be distributed among its 4 departments. So for the this IP address block to be used to be distributed among its 4 departments. So it is required to subnet the above IP address block. So we have the IP address block that it is given, and it is required to subnet, right? You need to subnet the IP address block. To satisfy the following requirements, assume that each department is located in a separate building. So we have the subnet number, the department name, and the number of computers, right? Okay. So the first question here is write the first address and the last address in the given address block, right? Okay. So when it comes to the address block, so let me explain it, right? So right, okay. So when it comes to this address block, we have right. So we have 192 dot 248 dot 154 dot 0/25. Right. Okay. So this is the IP address block that they have given. Right. So now when it comes to this IP address block, this 25 represents, right? So this 25 represents the network bits, right? It represents the network bits. Right. Then 25 bits are there for the network, right? 25. So when it comes to the 25, right? When it comes to the 25, we know that here, then 8 bits will be there. It is allocated for the network. Then here, 8 bits are allocated for the network. So 8 plus 8, 16 bits. So here 8 bits are allocated for the network. So 8 plus 8 plus 8, 8 plus 8, 16, 16 plus 8, 24, 24. So, and here out of this, here we have 8 bits, right? Out of that 8 bits, only first bit is for the net, right? We have 8 bits here. We have 8 bits here, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So out of these 8 bits, only the first bit is allocated for the net. Only the first bit, because here we have 8 bits, here 8 bits allocated, then here 8 bits allocated. So when you get the summation, it's going to be 24. Then remaining is 1. So that remaining bit will be allocated to the only first bit for net, right? First remain only the first bit for net. Then this remaining 7 bits, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These remaining 7 bits will be used for the host. Remaining 7 bits will be used for the host. Very simple, right? So in this scenario now, right? Okay. So the question is, what is the question again? Let us come to the question. So what is the what is the first address and the last address in the given address block, right? Okay, let us do that. So when it comes to that, so the first address is right now here there are 7 bits, right? There are 7 bits are used for the host, right? So if 7 bits are used for the host, right? If 7 bits are used, can you say me how many IP addresses will be there? How many IP addresses? So how to find that? So that is 2 to the power 7. That's going to be 128 IP addresses. 2 to the power 7, 128 IP addresses. 128 IP addresses, right? Okay. Now they're asking the first address and the last address, right? First address and the last address. So Let us do this. So the first address is going to be first address, let me see, first address. So here the first address, they have given the IP address block. So it in this scenario, it's going to be the first address 128.248.154.0, right? And now we just found how many IP addresses are there. 128 IP addresses are there. How did we find that? That is 2 to the power 7 brings 192.248.154.127. Now, if you take the summation, guys, right? If you take the summation, so once you take the summation, take the count from 0 to 127, it's going to be 128. It's going to be 128. Yes, okay, we are done. 128 addresses, right? So that's what. If 7 bits are allocated, 2 to the power 7, 128 IP addresses are possible. The first address is going to be 192.248.154.0. Then the last address is going to be 192.248.154.127. So when you get the count from 0 to 127, it's going to be 128. So the first address, okay, last address, okay, done. So now it's the time for us to move for the next question, right? Okay. Right. So next question, they're asking, write the subnet mask of the given address block in dotted decimal notation, right? Write the subnet mask of the given address in dotted decimal notation. So let us see how to do that. Okay. Right. Okay. So here in that case, right now here, okay, then we know that, right? Let me see these drawings. Right. So we know that our IP address block is 192.248.154.0/25. Right. Now we know that out of this 24/5, as we have already discussed, that this will be allocated for the net, right? So this is for the net 8 bits. This is also for the net 8 bits. Then this also for the net 8 bits, right? This is all for the net. Then from this we know that. So here, if you consider take the count here, so 8 plus 8 plus 8, that's going to be 24. But here they're saying 25. So we need 1. So from here we need to allocate 1 bit, right? So already given 25. So this bit is allocated for the net. So the remaining 7 bits is going to be for the host, right? So remaining 7 bits is going to be for the host, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Okay. Now this bit is allocated for the net. Because here they have given it, right? 25 bits allocated for the net. So here 8, here 8, here 8, 24, then plus this bit, it's going to be 25. Now what you need to do, you need to make this bit 1. You need to make this bit 1 and make the remaining 7 bits 0. Make all the other host bits 0, right? So once you do that, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what did I say? Make the host bit, make this network bit, net bit 1, and make the remaining host bits, 0, and now convert it into decimal. So once you convert it into decimal, you will be getting 128 here. So then we can, so these are going to be, there also it's going to be 255. And same thing for that, remaining 154 also, you have 8 bits. So convert the 8 bits into binary All right, 1 bits into binary 255. Then here 128, right? So it's going to be 255.255.255.128. So this is the answer for that subnet mask, right? So now let us move to the next question, right? Next question, right? So when it comes to the next question, what has the examiner tested? Right, let me read that. So how many host bits are needed to create the required number of subnets, right? How many host bits are needed to create the required number of subnets, right? Okay, let us come to that. So when we look into that, right? So, right. So we know that, right? We know that. So if you consider this, right? Consider this. We know that this last part, right? So you had 8 bits, 8 bits, and from that 8 bits, this bit is allocated for the net. Then remaining 7 bits, will be allocated for the host. Remaining 7 bits will be allocated for the host. Right. Now here in this scenario, now you need to use the host bits to find the what is the question again? How many host bits are needed to create the required number of subnets? Okay, very simple question. So in the question in the beginning itself, they have said that you need to create 4 subnets. So if you need to create 4 subnets from these host bits, right? From these host bits, how many are needed? 2 bits. Why? Why 2 bits? 2 to the power 2 no 4. That is the reason. The answer for that is 2 bits. Answer for that is 2 bits. Right. We are done with that as well, right? We are done with that as well. Now here you may wonder how 2 bits are created, because it's going to be like this: 0 0 is going to be 1 a subnet, 0 1 is going to be another subnet, then 1 0 is going to be another subnet, and 1 1 is going to be another subnet. So which is going to give the account of 4 subnets, right? So 1, this is 1, this is another one, this is another one, so this is another one. So 4 subnets, right? That's how 2 to the power 2 4 subnets are created. So the answer is 2 bits, right? 2 bits, right? Right. So now let us move on to the next question, right? So let us move on to that. Right now, in this scenario, they have given once subnetting is done, fill the following table. So they have given a table. You are required to fill this table. So let me first of all put this table. Let me first of all put this table in my whiteboard. Then start explaining to you people. Right. So let me delete all these drawings. Right. Okay. So let me first need to have the subnet. We are having the subnet number, then the network address, right? The network address. Right. So here they have given the subnet number, right? Subnet number, right? Subnet number. Then network address, network address. Then we have the subnet mask, which we have already found. Then we have the first usable IP address. First usable IP address. First usable IP address. Then the last usable IP address. Then we have the broadcast address. Okay, right. So they have the question again is so once subnetting is done, fill the following table, right? So let us move on to that and fill. So we have found the answer for the first address and the last address. Subnet mask we have found. Then how many host bits are needed to fill the required number of subnets? We are done with that. Now the fourth one, right? Now here when it comes to this question, right? So um, so here we know that we have the if we take again the IP address block. So we had right two, then 248, 248, then 154, then 154, then 0, 154 dot 0, right? And 25 bits were allocated for the net, right? So now, if you consider this, initially this 1 bit is allocated for the net because here you had 8, 8, 8, 24, and this one 1, 25, 25. This is initially it is the if you take the IP address block, it is the way it is given. Then after this, to form the subnet from the remaining 7 host bits, we allocated 2 to form the subnet. Those 2 are also going to be net. So these 3 are going to be the net bits. So remaining 5 bits will be for the host. Remaining 5 bits will be the host. 1, right, so let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. So these remaining 5 bits will be for the host, right? If you have 5 bits for the host, we have the 5 bits for the host. How many IP addresses are possible? That is 2 to the power 5 is going to be 32 IP addresses. So each subnet will be having 32 IP addresses, right? The 32 IP addresses. How did I get it? So 5 host bits are there. So 2 to the power 5, 32, right? But we need to be clear. We cannot the net ID and the broadcast ID cannot be given to the host. We need to be clear in that, right? So the first subnet number, it is given in your exam paper as that is S001, S001. So let me write it. So S001, S001. Right. Then when it comes to network address, so here it's going to be the 192. I'm writing the same that is given 192 in the question, 192.248.154.0. Wrote the same which is given, right? Now here, right? Okay, done. Now after that, I told you that the subnet, right? Each subnet contains how many bits? Sorry, how many IP addresses? 32 IP addresses, right? 32 IP addresses are there. So let me erase this stuff and explain that. Right, okay. So here in this case, right, okay. So it's going to be 192.248.154.0. And also each each subnet contains 32 IP addresses. Then if you add 31 for this, it is going to be 32. So let me see, 192.248.154.31, because from 0 to 31, when you get the count, it is going to be 32, isn't it? So it's going to be 32. It's going to be 32. So when you take the count, we'll get 32. So then what will be our broadcast address of the S001 subnet? It's going to be 192.148.154.154.31. And sorry, this should be 154, right? Okay, so it's 154. Now before, right, when it comes to question, now write the subnet mask of the given address block in the dotted decimal notation. You had already found a subnet mask, but that is for the given address block. Now after subnetting, the subnet mask is not the same. Now it has become different. So now what you need to do, we know that out of this, we knew that we had 5 host bits. So out of these 5 host bits only, 2 to the power 5, 32 came. 32 IP addresses are possible. So 3 net bits were there. So here it's going to be 224. How? So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So here 32, here 64, here 32, here 64, and 128. Right? That means when you convert 11000000 to decimal, you will be getting the answer as how much? Yeah, 224. The subnet mask is going to be, so for this what you see here, it's going to be the same. That means here we have the 8 bits, 8 ones are there, right? So it's going to be 255. So when you convert the 8 1 bits to binary, it's going to be 255. So here also we had 8 bits. So when you convert 8 1 bits, if you convert to binary, it's going to be, if you convert to decimal, sorry, if you convert it to decimal, it's going to be 255. Then here also same, when you convert it into decimal, the 8 1 bits, when you convert it into decimal, 255. Then here we have 3 network bits. So when you convert it into decimal, it's going to be 224. The subnet mask is going to be, so make sure you write it, 255.255.224.224, right? 224, right? Then let us write down the first IP address. Right? This is going to be how much? 192. Now here we had 192.240.154.0. So the first IP address is going to be not this net address, the next one, that is 1. That is 192, right? 192 will be 192.248.154.1, right? And what's going to be the last usable IP address? The last usable IP address is going to be 192.248.154.30, because usable, right? The broadcast address, you can't use it because I told that it cannot be allocated for the host. Therefore 192.248.154, yeah, 154.30, right? Okay, we are done with that. Then when it comes to the next one, subnet number, next one is S002. Now of course you can do it very easily. So now the network address is going to be before it is 0, but after we had 32 addresses in the first one, right? So here it is ending with 31. So the next one need to start from 32. So 192.248.154.32. 32. So again, I'm not going to write the subnet mask. In this scenario, the subnet mask is same for the all the four subnets, right? So I'm not going to repeat it, but you guys must write it in the exam, okay? And the first usable IP, right? Okay. And before coming to the first usable IP address, now here you have .32. So now again you need to add 31 here. Add 31 here. Add 31 here to find the broadcast address. Very easy. So 32 plus 31 is going to give 63. 63. So the broadcast address is going to be, first find the network address and broadcast address, right? Then it's going to be easy for you people. 248.154 dot how much did I say? 63. So once you add 32 plus 31, that's going to give you 63. And then you can of course write down the subnet mask is the same as I told. Then the first usable IP address is, if the network ID is 192.240.154.32, the usable IP address is 192.248.154.33. Last usable IP address is going to be, need to deduct one from the broadcast, that is 192.248.154.62, right? So then we have the subnet number 3, that is S003, S003, 003, right? We know that the previous broadcast address was 63, so this one must begin from 64. So 192.148.154.64. So again, once you add 31, you need to add 31 for the 64, right? So 64 plus 31 plus 31. And then how much will you get? 64 plus 31 is going to be 95. 95. So the broadcast address is going to be 192.248.154.95. So this is how you need to do this task. But let me help you by filling the entire table, right? 95. Then here it's going to be, the subnet mask is the same. Then here 192.148.154.65. Then here we'll be getting 94. You need to deduct 1 from the broadcast last address, right? So 192.248.154.94, right? S004, here the network address is going to be, now previous it was 95, so this must start from 96. So 192.248.154.60, sorry, 96. So you need to add 31 for the 96, right? You need to add 31 for the 96. So we had 96. So 96 plus 31. So then you will be getting how much? So 96 plus 31 is going to give you 127. 127. So you need to write it here. So here it's going to be, all right. Give me a second. 27, right? 127. So right, okay. So let me write it, 127. So 96 plus 31 will give you 127. So you need to say 192.248.154.127. So then of course you can write down the subnet mask is the same. First usable IP address is going to be 192.248.154.97. Then the last usable IP address is going to be 192.248.154.126. So I hope this video is interesting for you. So if so, subscribe our channel, like and share it among your friends, right? Goodbye, meet you in another video. Bye.